station would love to welcome the charming and talented superstar of Thailand, Tata Yang. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
All right, what's up? I mean, it's so great to have you here in our studio for the first time.
Thank you for having me. Yeah, in the studio, right? Because the last time we did it outdoor, I think, or something. Yeah, it was quite a while ago. But yeah, it's good to be here. Thank you very much for having me. I'm quite stunned by myself at the moment. I walked in like, ooh, she's haunting me. Thank you.
Okay, in the very beginning of our show, we had mentioned that we weren't going to talk about like your private issues because I mean, ever since your press conference for your debut album, Ready for Love, I mean, like the media has been blasting you on it. I think you've answered enough about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's time for us to just like move on and talk about the real deal, your work. It's
exactly.
Yeah, because this is your third international album.
That's
right.
And
I mean, like, yeah, there was like a gap from your second album, like 3 years. Yeah, what was the main reason behind that? What were you doing?
Well, basically because I had a Thai album. As we were doing One Love, we're recording this one, Ready for Love. And, you know, I decided to take a bit of time to do this album because I really wanted quality work. You know, I wanted the people to get what they paid for and everything. So it took me a while, but
it does, because I heard it. My favorite song, Burning Out.
Right?
Yeah. But you got to work in Europe, right, doing this album. I mean, well, your previous album was in America. Why did you do this change?
Well, actually, with my first album, I believe, I recorded in Sweden. The second album, I recorded in part in America and then another part in Europe. With this album, I recorded in Berlin.
Yeah.
So literally, I almost lived in Berlin for almost like 2 or 3 months just recording this album, and which was great. You know, I had a vocal coach with me at all times, and you know, we warmed my vocal cords all the time. And you know, she's also an artist. Her name's Ginger McKenzie. So normally when I'm in the studio, you know, you have to think of everything. The way you want to sing and everything, but it's great now that I have Ginger because she's helping me think also, and there's new stuff on the album, you know, the like sounds that I would sing that you would probably never hear, which is really neat.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too because like when I first heard the album, I was like, whoa, is this Tata?
Yeah.
I mean, like there was like a lot of like different technique changes.
A lot of
singing, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah, I did take a little more lessons, you know, and just try to I would try to improve.
I thought this was like the best already.
It is the best, but you know, I'm just like, I just want the best for all my fans. You know, I want them to hear good stuff, and you know, I don't want them to see. This is like the old stuff she's done before, you know.
No way. So we can always look forward to surprises from you then, right?
Absolutely.
All right, then we can't wait then.
This is great.
Yeah. As an Asian singer, do you like find it like, you know, maybe easy or difficult in building like a reputation in the world market?
It is as a breakthrough. You know, I mean, if you want to become like a Madonna or Britney Spears, well, there's never an Asian artist that has ever done that. And the only thing I would say, it's probably because of the language barrier. There's a lot of talented acts in Asia, but the thing is, you know, a lot of Asian people don't really speak fluent English. You know, like it's either they speak fluent Chinese or like Thai or Korean, but you know, but I'm very blessed. I mean, I'm very lucky because my dad's American, my mom's Thai, so I speak fluent language, both Thai and English. You know, so it's really easy for me, but. You know, it's still difficult because you have to kind of introduce yourself again to the world and the market and see if they like you, and you know, it's got a lot to do with luck also. So
you have gone international. You're the artist who has like made it already.
So far, so good.
But like, in your point of view, how do you find like going international?
It's a big challenge for me. It's really it's quite tough, and you know, but I'm ready to move forward. But it's not all about me, you know. It depends on the people. It depends on my fans. It depends on a lot of, you know, the people, the radio station, the TV programs. You know, it's all the support that I need. But I just hope I get it one day, and I hope I make it. You know, if I'm not the first person to make it, at least I'm the maybe first couple of people who tries to make it internationally as an Asian artist.
And we'll be there to support you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, when you finish like doing an album, like really, like honestly, and you go out there, you do your press conference, and the media just like ask you stuff.
Right.
totally doesn't relate with the work that you did. I mean, do you feel kind of like, hey, man,
like being intrude?
Yeah, or like hurt at the same time, on your feelings.
Well, of course, I mean, you've got feelings, I've got feelings. I mean, everybody in the studio's got feelings,
Yeah.
And it's a little more tough for people like me, because everything that I do or whatever that I say, and everybody makes mistakes. I mean, you make mistakes too, right? I mean, everybody does.
I understand that.
But the thing about it is, when I make mistakes, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's kind of brutal in a way. So when you're in this business, you have to grow quite a thick skin, and you have to ignore and just kind of set it aside and just be more focused. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, I'm very straightforward to the media. If they ask me something I really don't like, then I ask them back the same question.
Ooh. I like that.
So sometimes they kind of step back and say, yeah, well, maybe I shouldn't ask for that. And but yeah, it's been difficult for me at one point, but then with the 14 years being in the business and everything, it just kind of like let go.
I always like the way you answer the media. It's kind of like just like, there, you got a problem with it. I mean, but it sounds
true.
good.
It's true.
Yeah,
well,
I
mean,
like that.
There's always a way to work things out. It's to talk to the media, It depends on how you do it. It takes a lot of experience, to be honest.
No, you are really good because,
Thank
you don't avoid them. You just answer, get to the point, and say, move on.
Trust me, I had problems before in the past, and, lesson learned, and,
Well, you're in the limelight. Come on. And
true.
It must be really God.
I mean, yes, of course, I lose my privacy, but it comes with the business. And if you want to be in this business, you have to accept the point.
Yeah. You
have to be realistic to be in this business. I mean, if you want to be successful, if you want to be famous, then you're going to have to lose the privacy. It's a give and take situation. You know what I mean? If I'm sitting here, I'm like, I want to be famous, but don't talk to me.
Whoa.
Then it doesn't work. It just doesn't work that way. So you kind of have to balance it out a little bit and say, I'll talk about this, but I won't talk about this. And, I think then people will start to understand that.
So know what you want and just put it out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever feel sometimes kind of like, I just want to be normal for
there was a point where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Wow,
don't want to do it anymore.
But you love singing.
Like for 3 hours. And then that's
for 3 hours.
Okay. I'm like, nah, maybe not.
It's like in my blood.
This is going to be hard to kind of let go.
Yeah, one thing I really liked in your interview, and I've heard it from my producer also, she mentioned it before, that you said that artists, we're not like angels, okay? We can't be idols all the time.
True.
We make mistakes,
Right.
And you
I
should
say
just
that all the time.
check out their work and judge them on that.
Right.
And you said that in the case of Michael, I think, right? Michael Jackson.
Yeah. I was actually at his tribute, it's to remember Michael Jackson.
Yeah,
it was
kind of pay respect.
Yeah, exactly. It was 1 month after he passed away. I was the last person to speak on stage. I end up eventually saying that, I relate to Michael Jackson in a way because I started very young. And you guys have no idea the kind of pressure. Michael is well known internationally. I mean, look at all the pressure he must have held, in his brain and in his body. It's it's very traumatic, and it's just difficult and it's heartbreaking. And a lot of times it hurts me because, it's like when there was all the bad rumors about him, everybody went out and started talking bad stuff about him. But when he's dead, everybody's like, oh, we love you. I'm like, how sick is that for people come out and cry? But the moment he did something wrong, everybody's judging him.
Kick him down. Yeah.
It's just so not fair. So to me, I'm just saying, I'm like, hey, appreciate the person that is living sometimes, and don't judge them from not even knowing them personally,
or maybe not really knowing all the facts. Also,
exactly.
He's probably